Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Coming on a few minutes early, but I'm here. I'm ready. I may as well get in and have fun. See who we got out there today. If somebody in the chat will give me an audio check, let me know how things sound today. I'd appreciate it. What do we got? Anybody out there? What a day, I tell you. I've been fighting with my dogs today, trying to keep them out of the bedroom so the wife could sleep a little bit. And they want nothing to do with that junk. They are being ornery as all get out. My bag. Get a little go juicer rolling. What do we got? Anybody there? Hello? Am I talking to myself? Am I not working? Oh, all right, let me go look here. Let me bring this chat up. You're here, Mr. Broke. How are you this fine morning? Glad to see you up and at 'em. Oh, I might finally get my package delivered. I've been waiting. It's like over a week past due. Got lost in the lovely southeast weather. What a crappy way to go. So what are you up to these days, Broke? I haven't talked to you in a little while. How's life treating you? You've been a busy, busy guy. That's about all you can say. Yeah, I hear you. Hey, good morning, Humboldt Picker. How are you today? So I've been working on a challenge lock. I need to get it finished. I just have a few pins left and a little core work I want to do. The other thing I'm doing is a little 3D printing work. I'm making, so as you can see here, I made a little 3D printed tray, and I'm going to make a case that this fits inside of. The plan is that'll have my poker chip sitting there, the lock core here, and then I built it with a recess there to hold the key. Thought that'd be kind of cool. And then I'll have a closable case that'll snap shut over the top of it. But I've got my logo printed on the top of it. And that's how that lock is going to go out. Something a little unique. I'm doing pretty dang good. Got the roof on your house finally. Then you got the flu. Yeah, I know you had the flu and you were sicker than a dog. That always sucks. Glad you're feeling better finally. Hey, man, I am just living the American dream over here, I tell you. I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of things I'm trying to get accomplished. I need to figure out, and maybe you guys have an idea here. I need to figure out how to get word out on my lives for some giveaways to get some new pickers in. Thought being, I have a handful of starter pick sets, and I'd like to get some newer people in, do some giveaways, and send out some picks to some people. And I've got some other stuff I'm working on for maybe some more giveaways during lives, things like that too. See what I can come up with. Are you talking something like this there, Humboldt? The pack lock stand to display it. So like this one says 90A Pro. I don't know if you can read that. Yeah, 90A Pro is engraved on the back side of it. I was thinking about printing out a few of those in a couple different colors and offer those out as giveaways items as well. Pretty easy cheesy. Now that I've got a 3D printer, I can play. Yeah, I haven't really found a good venue to get a hold of any of the new guys to talk to them, but I thought if we had some people that, haven't been doing much or don't have any tools, I could line up some way to give away some picks. These were given to me by Southern Specialties just for that purpose. So I'd like to find some people to be able to share those with. Oh, excuse me. Holy cow. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Do some shorts, put it out that way, see where it goes. I'm trying to do a few more little shorts here and there. Need to do that. It's pretty comical. I put out a short the other day, and the first thing on it was they didn't give me a thumbs down on the video, but they posted a comment with a thumbs down image. And I'm like, dude, what did I do? Oh, I don't know. To be honest with you, 3D printing something like this, I have no idea. Couple bucks. There's maybe 50 cents in material in something like that. It isn't, and it doesn't take long to print them either. Those are pretty quick and easy. Couple bucks and cover the shipping, and I'd send you one. I don't have a lot of colors right now in filament. I have this bright yellowish, greenish, whatever it is. I have gray and I have black. I have some coming to do some stuff for my daughter that are going to be like, it's one of those rainbow colors, so it changes colors as the layers go. For some things she wants me to try and print out. See, and then I have another one that I've got snakes lock in. It still says 98 Pro. I didn't change the wording on the back of it, but that's an American 1100 from Snake. So I thought it'd be kind of neat to have some displays to put up some of these cool locks that I've gotten or seen out there. Yeah, of course I had to keep one of mine. Yeah, hit me up, man. I can hook you up. Yeah, I've got a lot of work I need to be doing around the house. A lot of drywall work. I've got a bathroom all framed in downstairs, and it's drywall. I just need to tape it, texture it, get it painted so I can finish up and get a bathroom going. And then I want to start putting up some other walls. It'd be nice to have, an actual room to work out of instead of a room that has 3 walls of just studs hanging here. Is what it is. But yeah, I thought this turned out pretty cool. I already tried it out once. My chip does fit in there. It is really tight, but it fits. And I need to get my core that I've got and make sure that fits right. See if I need to make any adjustments there before the final print. But that one turned out pretty cool. And I like how the key fits. I dropped let's grab this. Yeah, it's a pack lock key. And I can drop the key down in there, and it wedges in fairly snug, covers up and hides the bitting, but displays the key, displays the core. I think that'll be cool. Part of the fun of the challenge locks, right, is making some cool accessories to go along with it and dressing it up. What do we got here? Bending. Anybody playing with any fun locks lately? I've got a challenge lock. I didn't even bring it down here today. I'd forgotten. I should have grabbed it, but that thing is driving me nuts. I watched somebody else's video where they gutted it, and yeah, it might be just flat out beyond my skill set to get that thing picked. I don't know. It is pretty crazy. So I just might have to find somebody else and ship it along to somebody down the road. Let somebody else have fun with it because it is kicking my butt. I need to get into more advanced pins and understanding what those feel like and work my way through that so that I can get there a little bit better. The other thing that I'm working towards that I need help with is I want to do a giveaway at the 250 mark. And one of the things that I have for my giveaway that I'm going to be doing a review on tomorrow is for Multipick. Yeah, those good guys sent me this set. I've been playing with it for a little while now, but 27-piece set in one of their beautiful leather cases. And that's going to go and be a giveaway. Who made it? It is Leighton. I'm not sure who Leighton is. The padlock is Satan by Leighton. And holy cow, man. There's some videos out there. Nope. I'm making picks for DD. Not sure who's DD. But yeah, I'll do a full review on this thing. I'm going to do a review on it and get that uploaded tomorrow. But that will be one of my giveaway items. I have 2 of the wedges from Newhouse. I have an order coming in from Southern today, and there's supposed to be some things in there for the giveaway. Looks like it's going to be a pretty cool giveaway. Maybe I'll split it up into 2. Do one at 200 and another one at 250. Once I get a chance to go through everything, we'll see what all's in there. But yeah, I think I'm at 188 this morning. I'm making picks for DD. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that one, Humboldt. That I should go grab it. Satan by Leighton is what it's called. The bidding on the key is ridiculous. And then I found a couple of videos out there, and one of them where a guy guts it. And holy Toledo, man, the pins that guy has in there. It's pretty insane. It really looks nuts. Good morning, G-Key man. Saw you were on earlier and said you were stepping away for a second. We're just yakking and BS. Oh, disc detainer locks. Oh, gotcha. That's something I've never messed with. I have never even seen one. I mean, I've seen some videos of them, but never seen a disc detainer lock. I almost bought one of those. What brand are they? Mary? They have the really weird tapered keys that go down and push different panels down for each one. I almost grabbed one of those. Thought that'd be kind of fun to play with, but man, that'd be a challenging one. You almost have to build a custom tool for that. And we will see if she actually gets up. Lady Locks was going to try and join me today. If she got up and conscious, we will see. She is not much of a morning person. But if anybody else wants to hop on and join me, just let me know, and I will send you a link. So people don't have to only listen to me go on and yammer. And the other one, I already did a review on this pick set, but these I'm selling, the Sandman pick set, beginners. It's actually pretty good. I'm going to redo the review on it because I was sick under the weather and just did a crappy job. One thing, I'm going to show you something real quick on this one before I go too far off in the weeds on my review stuff. So here you can see this is the rake. Just zoom this down so I got better lighting down here. So there's the 0.6 millimeter rake that it comes with. That's one of the quad peaks. Really neat engraving on the back. You've got, of course, your normal stuff for multi-pick down here. Then here is the next one. This is the 0.4 millimeter, so roughly 15 thousandths. But rather than on the bottom, it doesn't tell you what the size is like it does on the 0.6. Instead, it's engraved like this on the backside. And it's that way across the entire set, right? One set's engraved on the bottom down here, 0.6. The other ones are on here, 0.4 on the back, which is weird. And then the other thing, look at how much beefier that 0.4 millimeter is over this. And I'm sure they did that. They widened it out here all the way up in order to provide more strength. But at the same point, that makes it tougher in some of the small keyways where you need that 0.4 millimeter tool. And it's that way on all of them, not just these. So a little different. Not bad, just different. Well, link is sent over your way there, Mr. Broke. But man, I gotta tell you, that case, whew, that is ridiculously nice. All right, there. Do that. And I'm going to try, I might see if the wifey will be my camera person today. And I'm going to try Mr. Nick Pick's challenge, where you put on your handcuffs, pick a lock behind your back, and then pick your way out of the cuffs behind your back. Don't know if I'm going to be able to make that one happen or not. But hey, I got to move my light a little bit. Bear with me. There. I think that's better. So I've played with it and tried a little bit. I've tried just putting one cuff on, putting it behind my back, and working trying to pick it so I don't get myself trapped. But that's tougher than it looks for me anyway. The problem I've had is I've been able to get my tool in here to try and pick it, but I've actually bent my tool up, trying to do it behind my back. So apparently I must not be getting it quite right, lined up right or something. I don't know. But I'm getting closer. As far as picking the lock behind my back, I've kind of got that down. Oh, were you talking about the case? Yeah, man, that is some soft, supple leather. I would imagine it would wear, but it's just beautifully done. Very, very nice case. I'm really impressed with that. Good morning.
There we are.
Yeah, I thought it was nice of them to send me that set.
Yeah,
I've been playing with it. The more I play with it, the more I like it. There's a few little oddities with it. Like I said, the way that the 40 or the 0.4 millimeter picks are so much thicker in the neck almost negates using them in a tighter keyway.
yeah.
But it adds strength, I guess. So there's that.
Yeah, I've been coughing for 2 nights straight. I haven't slept.
Oh, yuck.
Every time I lay down, I start coughing and coughing and coughing. And then I just have to stand up and go stroll around the house for a minute, and it stops.
Yuck, yuck, and double yuck.
But yeah, I've been working on disc detainer locks, picks.
Kind of looks like those would be fun to try someday, but I got to get better at the other stuff, I think, before I dive into the next realm of the world.
Okay, I'll tell you about disc detainer locks. I have $500 worth of disc detainer picks and tools.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
And I can't barely pick more than a couple of cheap Chinese locks with them. They are, I don't know, I can't get them.
That's a whole different realm of lock, right? It
Yeah.
would be a true challenge. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I might have to reprint this because I printed this and I put the name for the lock in it,
Yeah.
but apparently my one word was recessed deeper than the other, so it's hard to make it out down there. It's kind of hidden. Come on, you can focus, you dummy.
That thing's pretty cool.
But I think it'll look neat. And then I already have the. Oops, what am I doing? What am I doing? I already have a plan for a case that this will fit inside the case, and then it has a flip shut lid on top of it. And then I've got my logo on top of the lid. And
That
then
would be
that's how I
sweet.
plan on shipping it out. Thought it'd be kind of cool.
Just make sure it's not thicker than the small box, because that's what I was dealing with sending one of Panda Frogs things out. Make sure
Yeah,
it's a little thicker than that. So I
right.
had to find a box that it would fit in, because it's just a little too big for this, but way too small for the next size up.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta
Ugh.
play with that and see. And I I signed up for a business account with USPS, and I've got a little thermal printer now, so I can print out my own labels here at home for shipping. And holy cow, that actually brought the cost down a lot. And the funniest part, you don't have to do anything to prove that you are a business. You just
Oh,
sign up the account and give them an email address, and away you go.
yeah, you don't even need to give them like a tax ID number. I did
No,
that.
but it cut the shipping considerably by doing that.
Yeah. Do you
So
use like pirate ship?
I've looked at pirate ship, but no, I'm doing it direct through the postal service,
Yeah.
and with that business account through the postal service, it's cheaper than what I found on pirate ship.
Oh, really? I didn't get that far into it. I bought the thermal thing and all that, and I was gonna I was starting to ship stuff out of the locksmith shop there, and
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'll look around a little bit more yet and see because yeah, it's the shipping can get quite expensive in a hurry. That's for dang sure.
yeah. Oh,
That's it's been really sad. I've got 4 orders from my store to fill, and I don't have any inventory to ship out to them. So I've been sending emails to them. Hey, I apologize, guys. I'll get it to you as soon as I can. I got lost in the mail because it was supposed to have been delivered a week ago yesterday,
holy shit.
and it looks like it's actually here and out for delivery today. So hopefully I get my package today and I'll be able to start putting together orders.
I gotta order 2 of your heavy dog leg sets. I gotta remember to do that later.
Yeah, I've got 10 sets of regulars and 10 sets of heavies coming in, and then a few other things. Like I said, I'm making some changes to what I'm carrying in the store and dropping the numbers of things down. So I'll start carrying my own inventory because I can give people better shipping doing it that way. Good morning, Dean P. How are you today? So I'm kind of excited about that. I don't know, like I said, I've got these multi picks that I need to try and get moving. I need to get those advertised out there and see if I can get somebody to buy some of those.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll keep running a whole lot of the multi picks or not, but I like them. But man, just so expensive, it's hard to justify.
Yep. I wanna buy a new set because look at I've had my set for so long. My my case is all flattened and worn out, and your guys's look all nice and
Oh, that still looks nice. Well, here's the sad part though. I've got this nice fancy set. It ain't for me. I don't own a set of multi picks.
yeah.
These are going off to somebody else.
Yeah. And then I gotta get the rest of the multi-pick handles for the
Oh, for the dimples. That's
yeah,
dimple flags, right?
yeah, because I
Yeah.
only got 2
So
handles in here, so this is just a
I've
2-handle case.
I've got a gal here in town. It's actually a cousin of my wife's that she does leather work, and I have her making a tool roll like that for me, but for regular picks, not for dimples,
Yeah,
with a zippered pouch on one end to hold all the tension tools and crap. I'm anxious to see how it turns out. I have no idea what she's doing. I gave her a rough drawing schematic of what I wanted as far as the design.
yeah,
We'll see. We will see.
yeah. As soon as I get a sewing machine, I'm gonna start making some.
She does all of her stitching by hand.
Yeah, she's nuts.
We used to do that at home. We used to we would tan our own deer hide every
Yeah,
year, and then my mom would make chopper mitts and gloves and stuff out of those. And we had a really old, she still has it, this old electric sewing machine. But that sucker could sew through just about any material out there. I mean, you could sew super heavy leather with that danged old sewing machine.
yeah,
And that's the only reason we had that machine. We just kept it around just for sewing leather.
yeah. I used to have one of those. I had an old Singer that would,
Yep,
man, you could put a brick under it and it would
yep, yeah.
stitch
The new sewing machines don't have enough power to do it, but those old ones blast right through it.
like it's nothing.
Yep, yep,
Oh,
yep. Yeah, I've been playing away on a few locks, and I've been working on that dang challenge lock, but boy, I'm getting frustrated because that thing is over my head. I have a feeling.
yeah.
Good morning, trucking lock. How are you today?
Oh, there's Trucker.
Welcome on in. And then I saw, I've been using these grip handles from 44 Delta for my dog legs.
Yeah,
And I saw, did you see the other day he released ones to fit the Southern Specialty picks?
yeah, and multi-pick.
Yep, and multi-pick. Yeah, I might need to get those and try them out. The only thing I wish he would add would be like this, the sizes built into it, because you put them on and it covers it up. And that
Yeah,
just makes it really nice having that printed right on the handle.
yeah.
Yeah, old machines will go through. Yes, they will. Go right through your finger if you aren't careful.
They'll go through your finger. Yeah,
The voice of experience speaking there, yeah. They will, and you got to be careful. Those sewing machines can be freaking wicked in a hurry. You getting ready to take a nap and saw I was on. Well, napping is overrated.
I'd give anything for a nap. But the second I lay down, I just start hacking and I can't sleep.
I appreciate you dropping by, though. Yeah, it sucks when you can't sleep when you feel that under the weather and just yuck. It just is a killer, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know what I got into yesterday, but man, my stomach was in knots killing me. So I was pretty miserable last night. But a good dose of drugs and I slept.
yeah. I should probably get some like cough syrup or something.
Yeah.
I don't like taking medicine.
No, I get it, but man, at some point, a guy's got to be able to get some rest in order to help get better. Hey, good morning, Snake.
Oh, Snake's here too.
Snake's here too. Quite the turnout, man.
Yeah,
Got an 11 to 12 hour trip ahead of you. Where are you headed to this time there, trucking? You're on the road quite a bit, right? Being a trucker and all.
um,
Yeah, we're going on a little vacation here in a few weeks, end of this month. We're going to make our way down to Florida for a few days, get a little sun, get away from all this snow. I got up yesterday to 4 inches of new snow.
Oh, good. You can go down there and slap the shit out of my son.
Yeah.
I'll give you his address. Just drive by, knock on the door, and be like, slap
Open
him
the
in the
door,
head
give him
and
a
say,
pop, and walk away and not say a
"Yep,
word.
yep." You'd be like, "What the hell?"
From Michigan down to York, PA. Yeah, it sounds like a fun trip. At least the weather should be getting a little better, so you're not having to deal with ice and snow and that kind of crap right now. As much, anyway. I keep saying that, and then we keep getting it here. It just keeps coming. And the fog, man. We've had fog lately. Like, I think it was yesterday, some of my guys driving to work, and they're like, yeah, the visibility was less than about 100 feet. The fog was thick.
Jeez.
And yet we still had idiots passing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this has probably become one of my favorite locks. It's
Well,
an American 1100, but it's got a master core in it.
oh, yeah.
The 6000B core. That is just a fun little lock to pick. I really, really like that one. It's a little tighter keyway than the traditional 1100.
Yeah. But you just use your 16,000, so
I use a 20 on it.
20, yeah.
Yeah, 20 seems to get through it really well. Now, if I go, that's in the heavy dog leg. If I go up to the regular dog leg, I can use the 25,000s, but it's a thinner profile, so it fits in there a little better. You know, that's the nicety. I don't know. That's the thing between the two.
Yeah.
You know, the one's got a lot thicker neck, it's a lot stronger, but you got to go to a thinner pick in order to get into some of the locks. Where these, and that 25,000 will fit just about everything. That's in this set. Probably my favorite one out of all of them in here is this short flat hook. That is an awesome little pick right there.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
really like
probably
that.
what I use when I
Yeah,
use my multi-picks.
yeah, that's my favorite one by anything. That's what's in there, and that's the same pick as in that Sandman set. And I think it's just awesome. And the other thing I really come to enjoy out of this, I wasn't sure about it because it's different, are all of the tension wrenches.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it doesn't have the traditional double-ended tension wrenches. They're all single ends.
Yeah.
But then, have you seen this type of tension wrench before?
Yeah.
Where it's tapered?
Yeah.
I've never messed with one of those before. That's kind of a wild one. Bottom
Yeah.
of keyway, it fits just about everything because of the way it's tapered. Kind of cool. That's what I like about stuff like that. Get some of that stuff in, and you get to see some different tools that you normally wouldn't see. And
I'll be goddamned, I found them.
what'd you find?
Dude, remember you sent me the things for my pocket pick, your dog leg?
Yeah, the dog leg inserts.
Yeah. I have been looking for them ever since to put in there. I just found them. I put them in this case. Dude, I've been stressing out for like weeks I'm like, what the did I do with these?
They're really nice in the pocket tool. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I Like I said, I may be biased, but man, I go through picking locks and I end up going back to those same picks every time because they just freaking work.
Yeah, they do. They're fantastic.
I'm really excited. Aaron is getting the deep version cut out.
Oh yeah. I
And
might
I'm
have to get
excited to
that.
try out a deeper hook, see how that goes.
Cannot believe I finally found them. Dude, I've been freaking out for like weeks. I have tore this room apart 3 times. I dug through the garbage. I dug through the washing machine
Oh, that's funny. There they were in your case, put away all the whole time.
the whole time.
Never fails, right?
I can't believe they just gotta be shitting me.
That's freaking hilarious. Yeah, that's how it tends to go.
I literally like lost them like 3 days after they got here because I cleaned my whole lock lab and started taking stuff out because I was getting this desk and stuff. And yeah, I haven't seen them in weeks. And I have tore everything apart and I finally gave up on it and they just fall out of the case.
They fall out of the case. That's funny. Yeah, they were safe. That's right. You put them away so they'd be safe. Somewhere you wouldn't forget them and then forgot them.
Yeah.
It sounds about par for the course.
It happens to me every time. Oh,
You know, I don't know what I do wrong. I watch these guys raking locks, and they make it look so simple. And I get to an orange belt lock, and I can't rake them. Just can't do it.
I can't break a white belt lock half the time.
White and yellows, no problem. As soon as I hit an orange, forget it. And
Yeah, I just never put that much effort into it. When I first started learning, I did it a little bit and then I was like, I want a single pin pick.
yeah,
I never looked back.
well, and that's just like a dude that I was working with. He bought a set of picks. He
Yeah,
wanted to start playing with it. And we have all of our door locks at work are ASA alloys with they have a primary and a master key, so
yeah.
they're dual keyed. And he comes in there and he's raking our office doors like it's nothing.
You gotta be kidding
And he
me.
goes, and he's like, "Yeah, I've never done this before." Pops the doors right open. Oh, that's easy. I sat there and tried at my office door one day for about 20 minutes. I couldn't get it in nothing. It's like, how? What the heck? So yeah, they're simple. It's
I say it
ridiculous,
all the
dude.
time too, though. If
Huh?
you don't, I say it all the time too. If you don't know that it's supposed to be a hard lock, then it's you
Yeah.
can figure it out because that's what I've done with a couple things, and people were like, "Oh my god, that's like a high black belt lock, like my Sergeant and Queso and stuff." That was my first dimple lock. I didn't know it was supposed to be hard. I just knew there was a lot of dimples in there, and I just
Yep. Hey, morning lock, Chuck. How are you? Yeah, it drove me nuts because, like I said, I thought forever, and I can't rake one of those things to save my life. I'd like to get a hold of one of those cores to play with the dual key like that. I think that'd be kind of neat. You know, to have one that actually has a keys because I have this Corbin Russ one that's SFIC, I guess,
yeah,
and yeah, I've never gotten anywhere with that thing either. But I don't have any keys for it either, so I have no idea what the heck is in there.
yeah, it might not even work.
It might not. I mean, it was given to me by a local locksmith, and yeah, I don't have any keys. I mean, it's really clean. It looks nice. The keyway and everything's nice and clean on it. So I can't imagine it should be non-functional. But I don't know. Maybe I'll send that to somebody else and say, "Here, you want something fun? Try this thing." I think I've had a couple people say they would like to try it.
Yeah, I got a medical like that. I got a couple of Schlades like that, and a
Yeah,
block. I got the medical out. And I passed the control key because I don't have a key at all, operating or
that's UG key man, huh? I might be able to do that. It looks like it'd be a fun lock to work on. I mean, it's got a really cool keyway. I don't know anything about it. Come on, you can focus. All right, we'll force you to focus. You don't want to focus. I will force you. It's got a really neat keyway.
Yeah.
All it says on it is Corbin Russwin.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
And like I said, it's really clean. It doesn't look like it's been abused or beat up. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I'm really enjoying this new camera, being able to zoom in like that and have things focus up nice and clear. That thing's pretty sweet. I need to get a stud mount for it because it's got a spot where I could take. I've got a ring light off to the side. Well, it's got a mount so I can mount it right to my camera and have the light coming straight down, matching with the camera. I think that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah. I should have next week a laptop and computer and some cameras.
I need to get down here and work in my office and down here my lock lab and redo some things. I've got a much better computer. I need to hook a docking station and stuff. It's actually a laptop, but it's got a high-end graphics card in it that'll do a lot better for processing videos and things. The one I'm using is old. There's no USB-C ports on it, and it's every once in a while it just really chokes and goes to crap on me. Yeah, it's an awesome little camera, guys. I got it for like $150 on Amazon. And then I got a new microphone as well that I'm using that I think is working pretty good on the audio side.
Yeah, you sound good.
So I'm getting all kind of fancy.
Yeah.
Found the microphone at work. They were getting ready to pitch it in the trash. And I'm like, no, you're not. That's coming with me. It is a ELP zoom camera. Let's see. I can. Oh, you dang thing. Yeah, it's one of those blue USB microphones. So it's the boom style that, well, I can try not to deafen everybody moving it up here to show it, but it's one of these big beasts.
Oh, nice.
And then it's got settings on the back so you can change if it's omnidirectional or directional on the mics and all of that cool stuff. So, and then the camera, it's got a remote control for the zoom. It's got 10 times optical zoom. So the only thing I run into once in a while is when you manually zoom in, the autofocus kind of freaks out and doesn't want to focus like it should. But that's all right. Let's see. Share a window or screen. What screen is what? You dogs. Doesn't tell me what screen is what. Nope, that's not what I want. I want this one. There. I was going to just share that up. So there's the camera.
Oh, nice.
12 times zoom. Yeah, I caught it. It was on sale, so I got it for a lot less. But and it's neat. So it's got USB and HDMI, and you can use both of them at the same time. And then the remote it's pretty slick. I really like it. It all enclosed. You don't have to worry about getting dust and dirt and crap inside of any of it.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. That was my gift to myself here a little bit ago. Got my bonus this year, and that's what I got out of it was a camera.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I need a better camera for doing this stuff because I was using this little Logitech webcam, and it was okay, but you couldn't zoom anything, and the picture just wasn't good. So then I was using my phone most of the time connected to my computer so that I could try and zoom in on things. But it's nice to just have one stationary camera that I could pull in and play with the colors. And so,
yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I should have one next week. Lock Squash was digging through all his equipment that he's got laying around and put me together a pretty slick little setup. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's coming together. It's getting there. Yeah, then I've just got a so I've got like there's like a bookshelf on the back side of my desk here, and there's a top shelf on it. I've just got a tripod wedged in there with the camera mounted on it, so I can move it in and out and turn it and adjust whatever I need to get it to fit right, and then zoom in from there. So yeah, it's a good start.
And then I
And that
got,
way the camera's out of the way. You know, I used to tried running the microphone, the camera kind of in front of you, and I don't like trying to work around the camera
oh, I
doing your
can't do
stuff.
it.
That's just tough, man. Everything's in the way, and it's annoying.
I don't know how anybody does it.
Yeah, yeah. I need to figure out the threading so that I can put a stud in that and mount my light up there, and then I'll get rid of the other tripod for in front of me, and that'll be better yet. It's always an attempt to get there. Let's see. What does it say we got? 5 people on it says watching right now. Make sure to pop that like button for me, folks. Yeah, the gear's coming together. But like I said, this other one I've got is it's a laptop that I'm going to put down here. But wow, I'll take it around. But put in a docking station so I can just connect and disconnect it and take and use it elsewhere. But doggone thing's got a 32 gig dedicated graphics card built into the laptop.
Nice.
So that ought to be able to process my videos just fine and do its thing. Yeah, I looked at a lot of cameras before I picked on this one. And the only thing I had to do is I had to go in and play an awful lot with the colors because the colors didn't look right. Some of the things were very weird. Subscribe and share. That's right. Subscribe and share. Help me get up there, guys. Like I said, if any of you guys that weren't on here earlier, we'll be doing a video on this one probably tomorrow. But I have a lovely little multi-pick set that is going to be in my next giveaway when I hit 250. I have some other things coming for giveaway as well. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do one at 200 and another one at 250.
That's what I would do.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking because I don't know what all's in this next one. We'll see. Aaron said he threw some things in there for the giveaway for me, and then a couple things that I was picking up as well. So, and then I want to get some new pickers in. I have a handful of starter pick sets here that I'd like to be able to give those out to new pickers, right? You know, guys that already have a bunch of tools, they're not going to be interested in these, but got somebody new that's just getting started and looking for some stuff. Each one of these there's a city rake, a short flat hook, and a triple peak rake, and then 2 tension tools in each kit.
Nice.
So something decent to get somebody subscribed up or kicked up and going and get some basic tools. Kind of what I'd like to do anyway. I was thinking I'd do a couple of giveaways. I'm going to do some 3D printing stuff. The other thing I picked up was a bunch of these little blanked out tins. I'm going to make some pocket pinning trays. I'm going to 3D print some of those to throw in here, put on those. Maybe give away some of those as well.
That's what I should have you do mine. I want a special pocket pinning tray. Let me show you.
Ooh, you've been listening to some old school funk. What exactly do you call an old school funk? You know, it's pretty comical when Guardians of the Galaxy came out and they were playing Redbone on there. And man, that really brought their one song anyway back into the limelight. I'm like, dude, I remember listening to that. I used to have the LP for Redbone. I wish I still had that old album. They had some cool music, man. They were a good band, actually.
Yeah.
Very, very neat. One you just didn't hear much of.
I got a coupon online, so I said heck with it, and I ordered some of those hymns, and they come in a nice little tin.
Yeah.
But it's too big. The ones that fit in the Altoid, these are a little bit smaller, so they don't fit in this. Because I want to put one in here. I think
Yeah.
it's hilarious. I tell you
Well.
what, don't take two of them. Don't do it.
Well, take all of the internal measurements of that thing and send to me.
Okay.
Because I can take one of those pinning trays and I can resize it and get it to fit just about anything. But give me good measurements of the internals of it, and I'll see what I can put together.
Cool. I just think it'd be funny. But yeah, I gotta.
You know, say hymns on the outside, and on the inside we'll put "Be broke." Hymns be broke.
Right?
Oh, I'm at 190 subs now. Sweet beanies there, G Key.
Oh, you're only 10 away from
10
getting the
away
big
from
two.
200. So, like I said, I get that order. Hopefully, it shows up today. I'll be able to see what all's in there, and then I'll lay everything out and be able to put together. Like I said, maybe I'll do a 200 and 250. I think if I got enough stuff in the right gear to do that, I might pull that off. I think that'll be cool.
Yeah. Do a warm up one and then a big one at 250.
Yeah, exactly.
Get people interested, get the hype going.
Just type fun in YouTube search and it brings up for music. Is that what you're getting, Dean? Type in fun and find some cool stuff. You get some wild music, man. It's kind of neat to find some of that stuff out there. It's incredible what you can find on YouTube, dude.
Oh yeah.
Holy Toledo. Like it cracked me up that you were able to find that old stupid cops video of me still out on YouTube.
Oh yeah. It's
Like
out
how
there
long is that damn thing going to hang around? Holy crap.
forever. Me
Forever.
and Zoe and JJ watched it.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah, that was fun. I had a good time on that day.
Oh, I bet you it was.
It was fun. Yeah, that was something a little different. Something you don't get to ever. Well, hell, most people don't ever get to do something like that.
Nope.
Funk. I'll type in funk. Oh, not fun. Funk. Yeah.
Reverend Right Time and the First Cousins of Funk.
Well, those two kind of go together, don't they, Dean? Fun, funk. Yeah, you know. Some of the little funk music is kind of cool.
Yeah, a little George Clinton and Reverend Right Time and Grand.
I remember when I was a kid, my brother had moved out and he left a stereo behind, so I kind of inherited his stereo, moved it into my room, and I'd go garage sailing once in a while with my mom. And man, I would find some old albums and crap out there that I'd bring home. I had some pretty cool old stuff. Like I said, I had Redbone and Average White Band, and they were all bands I had never heard of before, and then brought them home. Hey, that's actually pretty good music.
Yeah. Yeah, I listened to some weird stuff too.
Yeah, it was pretty comical. So my daughter, when she was young, I was introducing her to '80s rock and different bands and types out there, and she really got hooked up on that. And still to this day, man, that's her favorite music. She still gravitates to that. So now she's teaching her daughter, introducing her to that music, and it was pretty comical. She was telling her friends at one point in school some of the music she was listening to. Why do you listen to that old stuff? That's just junk. And then she started playing it for them and had all of them hooked on it too.
Oh man, I go through my 80s. I go through like stages. I get my old outlaw country and then
Yep.
70s rock, and then I hit the 80s, and then I round it out with the 90s, and then come back around again, and then maybe I'll go into some bluegrass and
Yep. Yep. I get you. Sometimes the mood just hits for some good old music, and then you move on to something different for a little while, and then pretty soon you're back.
yeah. I've been really hooked on this cover band. It's got one of the most amazingly beautiful singers I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, so I watch her on YouTube all the time, and she's an amazing singer.
Huh.
So I've been hooked on her lately. Yeah, I love bluegrass
Yeah,
too.
bluegrass, man. I tell you, you get some. One thing that really gets me is you find a song where you got somebody that really knows what they're doing playing on a banjo.
Oh,
Oh, dude, those things are just amazing.
yeah, like,
Absolutely love that. Banjo and a good fiddle player, you got
yeah,
some good tunage going.
Benjamin Todd or
Yeah,
Billy Strings.
yeah. You get somebody that knows what they're doing with them, and oh, dude, they can just make those instruments sing.
Bud Deacon? What was it?
Yeah, I remember we had an old house on the property at home that was, I don't know, he was somehow related to me, but way back in the day. I never met him. He was gone long before I was born. But the house was getting pretty run down, and my brothers went up through the attic just looking through the place, and they found all kinds of crap piled into the attic. He found like an old oil lamp that's actually made out of solid silver,
Really?
and then up there also he found an old banjo, and he took
Oh,
that thing out and has it hanging on the wall at his house now. And but that thing's just beautiful. But heck, it's got to be 100 years old or better. Banjo. He found somebody and had it restrung. We don't have anybody that knows how to play it, but it's just a gorgeous looking old banjo.
wish I could play the banjo or something. My hands are too small to play guitar or any of that, and
I had a guitar at one point and I was learning to play, and then I joined the military and I left for basic training, and I came home and my mom had sold my guitar.
wow, I
So
could play a little bit. I could follow tabs. I didn't know
yeah,
how to, you know.
I was never very good at it.
Yeah, I wasn't good. I could only play
It
a few songs all the way through, and
yeah, I just never dedicated the time to it that I needed to really learn how to do it very well. But it was fun while it lasted.
yeah,
I had found a guy that was doing lessons in town. I went in and took a few lessons from him, but it was a struggle for me. I am just not very musically inclined. I don't have the ear for it.
I don't think I have the ear for it, but I music is everything to me. I want to learn how to sing one song. If I could sing one song and keep a tune,
Oh yeah.
I'm happy to death before I die. You know,
Oh, I love music. I sing along to songs all the time. Nobody wants to hear me doing it because I ain't good at it. But hey,
I was actually trying to learn how to sing at one point before I went to jail. Yeah. I had the I had my gay neighbor, my best buddy. He could play the piano. He could play any instrument and hold a tune, and he was teaching me how to sing. But then I ended up getting in trouble.
yeah. I tried when I was a kid to join choir at school, and they
So
wouldn't let me join the choir. That's how bad a singer I am.
I tried to join the band, and I got in an argument, and I hit the kid next to me with that plastic flute they give you, and I broke it on his head. And I was never allowed to be in band or choir after that.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. And then I had to pay for the plastic flute.
Yeah. What was this? They were a recorder, right? That's what they called those.
Yeah, recorder.
You had to play your three blind mice. Everybody learned how to play three blind mice on the
I
recorder.
didn't. It was like the second day.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
the
funny.
first day we got our recorders and a quick lesson on it, and we were into the second day, and that kid pissed me off, and I smacked him with it, and it broke, and that was it for my. band career.
That's funny. Yeah, I think that was the only thing I ever learned how to play on the recorder was Three Blind Mice.
You-
I think I could still pick one of those things up and play that stupid tune on there. I've got a harmonica around here somewhere too. I messed with that for a little while.
How
And
about
that's kind of fun because you can pick up anybody I think can pick up a harmonica and blast something out on it. It may not sound right, but you can play a harmonica. They're just kind of
yeah,
fun. I always like that when I'm off up in the woods, out camping or hiking or whatever. And it's just something easy to throw in the bag and something to play with out there.
yeah. I want to learn how to play the harmonica and the mouth harp.
Oh man, yeah. Guys that know how to do that too is pretty wild.
Yeah,
Or guys that can play the spoons. Really?
yeah.
That is just nuts.
Have you ever seen the Spoon Lady, the old meth head girl from Kentucky?
Uh-uh.
Oh man,
Hey, Delbert.
she can freaking play those spoons. She ain't got no teeth, and she never has shoes on. She always looks like she just crawled out of a trap house. But man, she can play it. It's
Right?
called the Spoon Lady.
Yeah, Delbert Alexander has joined in on the chat. Good morning. You like the mouth harp yourself, huh? It's a neat sounding instrument, man. Pretty cool. And again, knowing how to play that stuff is people have more talent than I do by far, that's for sure.
Yeah, I
You
was
know,
really wanting to do something that I just don't have that great a talent for, and the things I was really, really good at, I wasn't interested in.
morning, Ms. Marissa. How are you doing today?
Like, I was a really good baseball player, hated baseball. I used to practice with Kirk Gibson. I went to school with his daughter.
Yeah. We didn't have any baseball when I grew up northern Minnesota. Baseball wasn't a thing. Nobody played baseball.
Really,
We played softball quite a bit just as fun, but there was no actual sport for it.
really.
I played softball when I was in college, but again, that was more for fun than anything. But I was the I was the pitcher on our team. I had a lot of fun with that.
I always played third base.
Yeah. I was able to put a spin on a softball, man, that it would either they would hit a foul ball or they would pop it in the air to be caught more times than not. It was pretty fun. It was pretty wicked with that stupid thing.
Uh,
That was fun. We had a really good time with that. I think everybody are all doing absolutely marvelous today, Marissa.
yeah. Oh, look what I found for $25 for my son for his birthday. I'm pretty proud of myself. He's really getting into fishing down in Florida. I got
Yeah.
him a ugly stick still in the wrapper with a what is that? What's the name of the reel? It's a really good one. Oh, Shakespeare
Oh,
reel.
yeah. Heck yeah.
$25. They normally sell between 40 and 80.
Oh, yeah.
They're on sale.
Awesome. That's a good find. Yeah, I love the ugly sticks. They're great. I need to start fishing again. I used to fish all the time. I grew up fishing all the time. Up in Minnesota, man, there's some great fishing. And we just had a canoe. That's all I had to fish out of was a canoe. But I used to have a really good time with that. I'll throw this out here, this brand, and see if any of you guys know it. Let me get it pulled up. I'm bidding on a knife that's for sale on a Facebook page here. It's one of these bid it to win it, right? So let me pull it up what the brand was. It's not a knife I'm familiar with, but it's a USA made knife.
Yeah.
Man, come on, you're being slow. Open. Open sesame seeds. There we go. No? Oh, jeez, oh, Pete. How'd that disappear? And I'm just waiting for the bid ends this morning at like 11:30. What the hell, Facebook? Why do I hate Facebook so much? Come on. It is a Medford knife.
Medford.
It is a gorgeous looking knife, dude. Really pretty. I'll bring it up here. You can see it.
Yep.
It's a folder, but from what I have found, looking this thing up online,
Oh, I've never seen one of those. Oh, I did break it.
it's about a $500 knife.
Really?
Freaking expensive blade. But I'm a high bidder right now on this thing at $50.
Hopefully somebody doesn't sneak up on you on the last minute.
Well, I got to try and keep an eye on that one. Yeah. But yeah, it looks really nice. D2 tool steel, which I have a couple of knives that are that. I really like them. So we'll see how that one goes. I'm hoping I can pull that off because, yeah, that'd be nice. I like knives. I've got a thing for knives.
I do too. I collect a whole bunch of them, but I don't buy the really expensive ones.
I don't normally either.
Like this one has my name on it.
This is the most expensive knife I've got right here. And that one I got on a sale because it's got a blemish. There's a little mark in the finish on the blade, and that's it. But because of that, I got it, man, almost half price. But that's a really nice knife. Really like that thing.
Nice.
Other than that, all my other stuff is pretty cheap. Marissa is asking, Broke, how was the weather for you this morning? They had crazy lightning over there.
I had a couple of thunder cracks and it started to rain, and then it's pretty much just cloudy now. But it wasn't like it was the other day. Holy crap.
I'm still waiting for some of that to get to us, but instead here it just keeps dropping the temperature. Like right now, it's 21 degrees out. It just does not. It'll warm up. We had 77 degrees a week and a half ago. And then all of a sudden it just plummeted.
Yeah.
And started snowing again. Like I said, yesterday morning I got up to 4 inches of new snow on the ground. Yeah, that's one of my favorite blades there, G-Key, man. I really like that thing. It's a pretty, very, very pretty knife. It's a Steve Reichert signature knife. It's got his signature on it. It came with a photo of him and the knife and crap in a display box and all this crap. But
did you ever figure out what that knife we both had is? I forgot to look it up, try and figure out what it was.
No, I never was able to make out the full name on that thing or find anything on it.
I've had quite a few of them over the years. They're good knives.
I would have liked to have gotten the other one that my dad had to have the matching set because he had the big knife to go along with it. But yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a number 330. But yeah, for the life of me,
I can't read mine either.
Come on, focus. There we go. Anybody recognize that brand? KIN. And then I can't quite make out the rest of it. Looks like IO. I don't know what that thing is.
Oh, you can see yours way better than mine.
Yeah, but I can't quite make out the last bit of the wording on there.
Yeah, I can't either. We got a bunch of old blind guys trying to read microscopic writing on a knife.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, it's a wickedly nice knife. Man, I used this thing. It has seen a lot of use. I need to oil up the handle on it. A guy that he used to live here, but he does knife sharpening. He took it one time to sharpen it. And a couple of the leather washers were a little loose, so he actually took it apart and drilled a hole down here and put in a separate pin to lock everything back in, and then put some new epoxy in to lock it down and fixed it up for me a little bit. But
Oh, really?
really nice knife. It's still the original sheath for it. But
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea what the heck brand that thing is because I can't quite make it out. Someday, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll get it figured out. Need to throw a couple of those in that sharpener I've got and do a little knife sharpening work again.
Oh yeah, your sheath is real nice. Mine's
It's in good shape because good Lord, man, I carried that thing, holy cow, all the time as a kid. That thing was on my belt. It's
yeah.
gone
I got
going
that
back.
one out of the pawn shop, and the sheath is just rotted. And it looked
Yeah.
like somebody lit it on fire at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like I said, my dad had the exact same brand of knife, but in the larger version. That was his hunting. It could be a kinfolk. That could be it.
Yeah, I bet you that is it. No, I gotta look that up.
Is it maybe kinfolks, plural? Because it looks like an S at the end of it. But I bet you that's it. You know, you'd think being a techie geek, I'd be smarter than I am.
Kinfolk's nice knife history. Let's see.
Let's let some AI do some work for us.
Yeah, they came. That's what I thought. They were a bayonet from World War II, and they brought them back. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I just didn't want to say that because I thought that's what it was. I didn't know the name of it, but I knew it was a World War II uh, bayonet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kinfolks.
There it is.
Yeah.
That be them. Yeah, I had the bigger one and the smaller one at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad had the big one. I don't know which one of my brothers got that one, but yeah. Yeah, that's a sweet knife. I really like it. The gosh darn and the heckin' shucks. You best watch it. You got a pretty mouth, boy. That's how them kinfolk knife people work.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit! I paid $5 for it, and they're selling them on here for over $100.
Hey, Sama Sushi, how are you this fine morning?
Well, that was a good buy. I wish I still had all the other ones I've had over the years. I've had quite a few of them. That's on my TV.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. I thought my screen was cracked on my TV, but I'm looking and I'm seeing the this wire coming down from my ring light.
Oh,
Crash. I'm like, holy shit! I don't want to have to buy a TV now. I'm just getting caught back up.
right. Yeah. I got to get somebody. I got to find somebody here that does gutter work to come take a look at the gutters on my house. I've been trying to get them sealed up. They leak up in the corners, and it's starting to affect some wood. So I got to have the fascia looked at and get my
Yeah,
gutters fixed before it ruins the whole friggin' house.
yeah, and it'll do it quick too.
I know.
So once you get
But,
that moisture in there, and then it just sits up under there.
well, luckily here we're such a dry climate. It'll dry it out pretty damn quick. But
Uh,
um, if we get 40% humidity, that's high humidity here.
really?
Oh yeah. I feel more like rotten sushi, but we all have our good days and bad. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. But yeah, rotten sushi. That's a nasty metaphor there. Whew. So you're talking like gas station sushi where somebody left the door open on the little fridge for too long?
And it's warm, and you think it tastes funny, but you're not sure, but you're still hungry, so you eat it anyway.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough.
Uh,
That is rough. I don't know how people come up with metaphors like that. That's just sick and wrong. It's kind of like the egg salad sandwiches out of the gas station. The one that cracks me up, and I need to try it, but I haven't done it yet. So I go down to New Mexico quite a bit because we have an operation down there. I have a couple of guys that work for me down there. And one of the big things down there is you drive out to work to the mine, and the whole road all the way out there is lined up with people selling breakfast food every morning.
yeah.
And it's spam burritos.
Oh, yeah, those are good. I like masuvis from. If you ever go out to Hawaii, there's masuvis everywhere. All it is it looks like a sushi roll
Yeah.
with uh, with spam on top.
You know, I love me some good fried up spam once in a while. Spam and eggs. Oh, that's just tasty. But yeah, that's a big thing down there. Heck, there's restaurants down there that have spam burritos on the menu.
Oh, Dutch is here. Oh,
Hey, Mr. Dutch, how are you? Anybody else out there feel like hopping in and joining us in the Gab Fest this morning? Let me know and I will throw you a link. I love having company.
huh.
Makes it fun.
Yeah. I just don't feel like picking anything, and I can only talk for so many words before my voice goes out.
You know, I've got this set of Jimmy Long gym hooks, and I like them well enough, but I've kind of quit using them much.
Yeah,
I've just some of the other picks I've got, I just seem to like better. I don't know. It's probably just me.
I've
I need to
noticed
start
that.
going through some of my picks and probably give a few away. I was like the other day I was going through things like, man, I've got a lot of freaking picks. I've got so much crap packed into this little case anymore that I can't hardly zip it. I've got to push on it like crazy in order to get it closed and zip shut.
Well, trust me, you're preaching to the choir.
Oh, and I don't have nearly as many as a lot of people. You know,
Yeah,
I've got this really lovely Moki set. That, man, they are just beautiful. They just feel like they're so soft. I've just been almost afraid to use the darn things, but they're beautiful picks.
yeah. I got to get me a set of those and a set of law locks.
Yeah, some wall locks would be kind of neat. I've been thinking about reaching out to one of those European lock makers and see if they'd want to take on the the dog leg profile for selling over there because it's just so expensive to try and ship anything over.
Yeah,
I've got some people over there that have been wanting to try them, but it's pretty rough when you're talking about a $10 set of picks and $40 in shipping to send it.
exactly. You could get with Andy or what's his face? I can't remember his name right now from Dangerfield. I bet you he'd pick him up. I think
Yeah,
I still got his number.
Moki. And that's the thing. I hear everybody call them Moki, but everything says Moke.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
So where did Moki come from?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. But yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous picks, dude. Amazing. Doo-doo.
Or Andy from Lawlocks. He might try to pick him up.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a thought.
Or you could get with like Rob Long. Maybe he can make his custom ones with that profile.
0.4. I don't know. What are these in the minimalist set? What thickness are they supposed to be? Because they seem like they're pretty thin.
I'll be right back. I gotta get a drink.
I just bought some. Yeah, the Moki 4mm. So the 0.4 that falls because that's what I've got in these multi-pick. That's about what 15 thousandths, right? Am I thinking right on the 0.4? I've got this set. These are 0.6 and 0.4. And if I remember right, when I was measuring, the 0.4 came out to about 15 thousandths. And the 0.6 is about 23 thousandths. I gotcha. Moki is the maker. Moke Workshop is the company name. I gotcha. I was always kind of curious about that. But yeah, they are extremely nice, well-made picks. 0.5 is the standard. That's probably what those are then. So that 0.5 would be somewhere in like the 20 thousandths, 18 thousandths maybe. I guess I could find out. Let us just have a look. Pop my little battery in here. Good grief. And let's zero that out. Yeah, these come in at 0.5 millimeter. Yeah, looks like you can see that 19 thousandths. 0.5. Very cool. Let's see how consistent they are. That's one thing I noticed on my 0.51 millimeter. I think this one was right at 0.5. Yeah. 0.5. Yeah, they are right on the money, man. Right on the money. That's one thing I noticed. I think that was on this multi-pick set. These are, I believe these are all 0.6. Yeah, 0.6. But then when I come to the rake, which is also a 0.6, it comes in at 0.5 millimeter. And I can tell, I can feel the difference in that pick.
Yeah.
I got to take the battery out of this thing. I found if I don't take the battery out of this caliper, dang thing's dead every time I want to use it. Which gets a little frustrating. Nothing worse than pulling a tool out to use it, and it's dead. Yeah, his stuff is right on the money. Right on the money. The measuring that I've done with the Southern Specialty stuff too, though, honestly, they do a pretty good job. They're very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as finely polished as some of the other brands out there, but very consistent in the tools and work very well.
They sure do.
But, it shows in the price point, right? They don't have quite as much time spent in the hand polishing and finishing and get them absolutely perfect. But it doesn't diminish the usability of the pick.
No, I don't usually don't like them. The shiny, excuse me, the shinier and slipperier they are, I have a harder time.
It depends on how they've done it, right? So, like on these, they're very, very polished all the way on the sides, which in the top. There's no edges at all. But yet, I've seen some of them where they polish it so much that the tip ends up polished up to the point where it just doesn't grip and work well.
Yeah.
Like I said, Moki has done an outstanding job on that because the picks are very, very polished, but yet very nice at the end. Yeah, I have spare batteries too, Sushi. I have to keep them around just in case. But I found if I pull the batteries out of it, I get pretty good life out of it because that's my caliper for my reloading. So I use it fairly often. But I keep waiting for the weather to warm up so I can hit the range and get some shooting in. I've got some serious work to do there. I've got a manual set of calipers as well, that an oldie set, and they work good. I use those for a lot of things, but I like the digital because I can swap between the metric and standard. But they're yeah, they don't do the high polish. I've been thinking about doing that with a set of mine, taking it to it and a polish to it, and polish them up, clean them up a little bit. But they don't really need it. They still work fine. They just don't look quite as pretty in a case. But hey, I'm not all about pretty. I want functionality over pretty.
Yeah. It's like I got
But,
these head
Sushi says very good quality of Southern, but yeah, they don't do the difference is they don't do the high mirror polish like Moki. That's exactly right. But the other side of that is it shows in the price. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I found on, I don't remember what set it is that I've got, but they polished, like the tip is so polished on them that, man, I have a hard time. They slide right off every pin in there because they're just too smoothed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would not say that about the Mokes. They're nice. That lock is kicking my rear today. Some of my American 1100s are really kicking my rear anymore just because the springs have gotten so weak in them. I need to get new
Yeah, they
pins.
wear out and get harder and harder and harder, and then you just can't open them anymore.
Yep. That's why I said I need to probably just I've pulled it apart and I've stretched the pins out or springs out again, but I just need to get new ones. Need to get all the pocket lint out of your face. Yeah, exactly, right? The stuff I carry pretty regular, I take those apart about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, just depending on how it's been. And wipe them down, clean them up a little bit, oil them again. Luckily, like I was saying earlier, it's so dry here that you don't really have to worry about your stuff rusting on you.
I got to get a shoulder holster for mine because it's just too big. It pulls my pants down.
That's what belts are for. Crying out loud.
I rode a motorcycle for so many years, I don't have an ass anymore to hold it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even with a belt, it just slides right down.
I've got one of those little North American Arms 22 revolvers
Yeah.
that has the belt buckle that it fits in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's got a little push button you push and the pistol pops out in your hand.
That's awesome.
That thing is something to shoot. It's a vicious little pistol. If you're more than about 5 feet away, you aren't hitting squat, but it'll rattle and make some noise, that's for sure.
Yeah, with my eyesight going and stuff, I switched from, I used to carry uh, uh, either a Glock or a 1911.
Hey, Nola.
And then
Yeah.
I decided to switch over to my Governor so I can put them 410
Oh, yeah.
uh, self protection loads in there. And then I just have to point it in a direction, and then there's just no problem over there.
Right. Yeah. Those are a neat little gun, actually. And boy, they've come up with some ridiculous defense loads for 410.
Yeah, I love them.
And if you
And they're
want
little
something more
too.
serious, throw a long Colt in there. And
Yep.
but it just makes such a big freaking pistol because, man, that cylinder is massive.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's why I
I've
need
been,
a extra holster for it.
yeah, I've been trying to play with some um, red dots anymore, messing with those a little bit, but they're just, I don't know, not exactly my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Never have been. I have one that's a green dot. I like that better for my eyes. It doesn't starburst out as bad for me.
Huh. We got Nola and Delbert and
Right?
DT. Delbert milked those cows really quick. Yeah, or quarter loads. Oh,
Well, they've got one for the 410. What that has? What is it like? Is it three 32 caliber balls in there? Three or four?
three, and then it's got like 3 discs. And
Yeah.
uh,
Oof,
yeah.
that thing would just be vicious.
Oh, I've seen it. It'll put a hole in you like that.
Yeah, I can only imagine. That would not be any fun. I don't know, dude. You know, I had one here a while back. I had one of those, but the cows are smiling. All right. I had a guy that I worked with got a hold of me. He was quitting. He was leaving the company and moving, and his wife really didn't want him to have guns anymore. So he came and he asked if I'd be interested in buying his 2 pistols that he had, and one of them was a Judge, and the
Yeah.
other one was a Browning Buckmark target pistol. He sold me both of them. God, what? Like $350 for both pistols.
Oh, damn.
I mean, it was just stupid cheap. And I messed around with that Judge a little bit, and I was like, yeah, it's just so big and bulky. I don't know what the heck I'd ever use it for. So I ended up selling it.
Yeah, it's big and bulky, but I can't see anymore, and I figure then shit ever hits the fan, you know, what is the most rounds that are laying around? It's either going to be 9 or 45 ACP or 410 or 12 gauge rounds.
Right. Well, and that's what's nice with that thing is you're not restricted to only the 410 rounds.
Yeah.
You know, there's other things you can find that'll fit in that sucker and work.
Yep.
I used to be pretty much all I carried was 45 ACP, and I was doing some competition shooting, and they got to the point where they said, "Yeah, you can't bring your 45 anymore because it was too hard on their targets."
Yeah.
So I pretty much converted everything to 9 mil at that point, so I could keep doing some shooting, and it's cheaper. There we go. That's another one. These are the tension wrenches from the Moke minimalist set.
Yeah.
And they're really nice. I like them. Super long. That's the only kind of odd thing. But same with their picks, right? They're really long, but they work really good.
Uh,
I think it also came with these, a 3-pack of those. It's a great little set. I'm used to big and bulky.
yeah.
Yeah, I bet you are, Noah. 45 is so overrated. Well, that's what I hear some people say, and everybody's like, "Oh, you don't need a 45. A 9 mil is just as good." You know, but then when I'm out there and I'm doing a bowling pin shoot, and you shoot it with a 9 millimeter and it tips over, but it doesn't fall off the board, you got to shoot it 3 more times to knock it off. But at the same point, you shoot that same bowling pin with a 45 and it lands 3 feet behind the board on the ground.
Yeah.
Tell me how they're just the same. They are not. Now, ammunition has gotten better. You can slam fire your pump action 22. And I used to have one of the Glenfield tube fed 22s. That was my first ever 22. Loved that little rifle. And accurate, man, that thing shot great. One of them with the squirrel engraved on the side of the stock. But that thing got wore out because I shot a lot. And it got to the point where I just never knew. You could pull the trigger once in a while and that thing would just go until it was empty.
Nice.
And then reload it and it was back to semi-auto and worked fine. Triggered. I'm not triggered. Tell you, I carry 9 millimeter. That's my primary anymore. And that's, heck, I don't even own a 45 anymore. But I'm just saying there is a difference in the rounds and in what they do. And they've each got their point and their purpose.
Yeah.
I just wore that poor lock out.
We used to take those 22s and make stens out of them because they would wear out like that, the firing pin.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the FN 57. Yeah. You know, I'd like to try an FN out, or a 57 anyway. I don't know if it'd be the FN brand pistol or not, but I'd like to try one of them out.
Oh.
Yeah. I've got more doggone 9 millimeters than I know what to do with at this point. It's kind of gotten a little ridiculous. But I got into the polymer 80 and building my own and knocking a couple out. So, but yeah, a little 5.7 looks like a fun little round. I'd like to get a 5.7 pistol and a 5.7 matching rifle. Have the set. But if you're going to go that route, what I really want, I want to get my hands on a Taurus Raging Bee. That's the one I want.
Oh, the Raging Bee.
Raging Bee. It's a 218B revolver.
Oh, yeah.
I have a 218B rifle that was my dad's, and I'd love to have the matching pistol. I just think that'd be cool. But that makes 5.7 ammo seem cheap, because Winchester does limited runs of 218B Hornady is still making some, I think, but it's hard to find. But when they sell it, it runs for about $100 for a box of 50.
Damn.
Yeah. No, I want the Raging Bee. Just because it would match my rifle caliber wise. That's the only reason I want one. I know a guy here in my town that has one. And a doggone thing, it's got like a 10-inch barreled revolver in 218B. Pretty fun.
Mm.
The only downside is, for whatever reason, they changed the chamber just a little bit in the revolver is not the same as the rifle. So if you want to use them between the two, you have to full length resize it every time, so your brass doesn't last very long.
Right.
Because it changes it a little bit, it stretches it out and doesn't fit. We definitely do not have a folding Kel-Tec, but I don't know if it's 9mm or 22 ammo. Yeah, those little Kel-Tec. Kel-Tec's kind of an oddball company, but they've got some pretty cool products. I want their little bullpup 5.56 that's got the bottom eject. I think a bullpup would be fun, but I'm a lefty with a rifle, so a standard bullpup doesn't work. But they have the downward eject in the 5.56, and then they have another one that's in 308 that pushes the rounds out of tube and drops them out the front by the end of the barrel. I'd like to try one of those. I think that'd be pretty cool. Pretty sick little unit. When I first went into law enforcement, I was carrying a Colt 45. And the way they did it on the department, the guy that was running it, he was also the armorer, and he was also the approved gunsmith for the company. Imagine that. So he had put such a restriction on the maintenance on it that I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to keep carrying that pistol anymore. So I ended up getting rid of it and carrying a 357 revolver for the rest of my time. Probably one of the last guys out there still carrying a revolver, but by God, it just worked.
Every time.
Every time, yeah. And again, talking about the power difference, when I went to SWAT school, I was still carrying a 357, and all the other guys were carrying 9mm, and they were laughing at me in my 357s. And then we got out at the range and we were shooting steel plates, and we had a little competition shoot. And I outshot every one of the 9mm guys because their 9mm didn't have enough power to knock the plates over with one round. So they were having to double tap every plate, where the 357 just sent them flying.
That's awesome.
The one guy that beat me was carrying a 40 Smith. That was the only one that had enough power to keep up. And then, of course, the only reason he was able to beat me was he didn't have to reload as often as I did, so he was able to get ahead of me. But yeah. It was lost in a boat. I hate that when everybody's guns got lost in a boating accident. That's just horrible stuff. Here. Why don't we have a little, see if I can find it. Where do you find this stuff, man? Facebook. I'm telling you. The way they do it between, I have stuff in my saved in Facebook. Where do I find saved items? From the web page. I can find it on the other. But no, not here. Saved. There we go. Let me find this. And I'll share my screen. Again, let's have some fun. What the hell? Make fun of myself. So here is, let's see if we can blow this up. Make it big. Come on. I don't know where the hell that went. This is one of the pistol shoots that I was at, where I was doing the I went a little crazy on my shooting on that one. That was probably loud, wasn't it? And echoey.
Yeah.
But that was my poor run of the day. There was the next one.
Nice.
She got one pin down before I was finished. I'd shot. That was the 2 runs I did against that poor gal, and she's like, you could slow down a little bit. So, well, why would I slow down? Glock is trash. I agree with you, Nola. I mean, I'm not going to say they're trash. Glock makes a good gun. They are reliable. They're accurate, but I hate them. Most
Yeah,
uncomfortable, miserable frickin' things to shoot. I have scars on my hands from all the Glocks I've carried and shot over the years because every one of them, within 3 rounds, I'm bleeding.
Did you have the first gens? I carried the first gens with my little tiny baby hands. Yeah, those were fun.
I've had first gen all the way up to what are they at 5th gen now,
Yeah.
and then I tried the polymer 80 because I was thinking the little difference in the design of the grip and a little more beaver tail on it would work. Same freaking thing, man. Slices my hand open every single time I shoot those miserable pricks. So I just never been a fan. But they're reliable. They're accurate.
Yeah, you can even put them cheap old Russian steel rounds through them and they still fire every time.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, they just work. But
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, they're a neat design. I wouldn't mind trying out if you've seen that new one Ruger just put out. So since the patent ran out on the Gen 3 Glocks, everybody's making Gen 3 variants. But Ruger came out with their own take on it. And from what I'm hearing, that's a pretty damn nice little pistol. Pretty well built. And a lot of guys that are running them and playing with them are like, yeah, it's far and away an improvement. So that might be a fun one to look at. Not that I need another pistol, but H&K. That's the one I missed that I wish I hadn't gotten rid of. I used to have an H&K USP 45, and I ended up out of work, needing money, so I had to sell it. But God, man, that thing was so beautiful to shoot. Just amazing gun. And I got it for dirt frickin' cheap, brand new. They were clearing out the current model year to get ready for the new ones that were coming in, so they dropped it. I got it for almost 50% off.
nice.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful pistol. And I had an H&K USP compact in 40 that I carried as a backup gun for a while.
I think I'm gonna hop off. My voice is going, and I got to use the restroom and lay down for a little bit.
Well, I hope you get to feeling better, man. Get some rest. Yeah, I'm probably going to be calling it here before too long.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on. I'll see you guys later.
You betcha, man. Catch you later.
Yeah.
All right, what's Marissa going to try? Oh, yeah, Desert Eagle. Desert Eagles are sweet, dude. You won't have any problem with it. It's a big grip to hang on to, but they're such a big, chunky pistol that recoil is nothing. They're not bad. What caliber? Do you know what caliber yours is? I've shot the Desert Eagle in the 357 mag, the 44 mag, and I've shot the 50. And yeah, they're not bad to shoot at all. They're actually a lot of fun. Just a big bastard, but yeah, nah. The Desert Eagle, like I said, other than being a big heavy prick, they're a lot of fun to shoot, and they're not bad. Just about anybody can pick up and shoot those. My wife, I struggle to get her the range, but once I get her there, she loves to shoot. And honestly, I think her favorite gun that she's had out there to shoot was the guy was letting her use a 1911 and 45 with a red dot on it. She thought that thing was amazing. Yeah, more twist than kick. Yeah, they're not bad. They're loads of fun too. Good old Desert Eagle. I wouldn't mind having a Desert Eagle just for the fun part. But I want that whole gold plated one, man. I want to go all out if I'm going to do a Desert Eagle. You know, If you're going to do it, you got to do it right. We got any new pickers in the chat here at all today? Doesn't really look like it. Kind of a low crowd. If it's 50 or 44. Yeah, I'd take that bet, Noah. I would take that bet because I about guarantee you that ain't going to happen. I'm telling you, the 50, the 44 and the 50, they're in the Desert Eagle. They don't have recoil, man. They really don't. They don't jump around much. I knew. I bet you could take the 40 or the 50, either one, and single hand shoot it. Born again, new, fresh set of horns sprouting. Is that what you're saying? You want to hear loud? I've got a 7.5-inch barrel AR. That thing about punishes your face when you shoot it. But it's fun. I put a deflector on the front of it, so it's a little more pleasurable for me to shoot, but I would feel sorry for anybody that's out ahead of you. You're new, you can't open your 1100 yet. Huh? I'm wanting to get some new pickers in here that don't have much because I've got some starter level pick sets. I want to do some little drawings and give those away during the lives. I need to get some people in here. If you don't have any decent tools, they're nice. They're Southern Specialties. There's 2 rakes and a pick in the kit and a couple of tension tools. Hey, morning, Spontaneous. How are you? Well, I ran into that. It was a couple of years ago. I was at our local range shooting, and this couple came up next to us, and they were out there, and I was watching them, kind of observing a little bit. And I could tell watching them, they were new. This was a first-time handgun, and they had no idea what they were doing. It was almost painful. Yeah, the 1100 is kind of a challenge at first, but I finally went over and offered to help them a little bit and at least show them some techniques on how to hold it and what to do, and that helped them out quite a bit. But it was brutal to watch. I was actually getting to the point I was kind of getting worried somebody was going to get hurt because they just were just not holding on to things very well, and no technique, didn't know how to stand, looked very, very awkward. And took a minute or two and showed them how to disassemble it afterwards, so they knew how to take it apart and clean it and reassemble things like that. So yeah, those damn 1100s, man, I'm telling you, sometimes they're fun, sometimes they're not. I've started going back down into some of the lower white and yellows that, normally I just rake them. But I've started trying to play with those single pin picking, and sometimes even those are kind of fun. It's a 40 cal, wouldn't be a 40 millimeter. 40 millimeters a grenade launcher. 40 millimeters are about that big around. .6mm Remington, Delbert. I used to have a Ruger, or not a Ruger, it was a Remington Model 600 and 6mm. 18-inch barreled 6mm rifle. Man, that thing was a fun rifle. But they didn't have good bullets for it back then, so it was hard to get a real good accuracy out of it. Hand fired a 40 Mike. Hey, had one mounted underneath my M16 for many years. Did a lot of qualifying with that. That's fun. I love me those. Yeah. Beautiful rifles, man. Beautiful rifles. Like the old 6mm. I wish I had that one too. There's so many guns that I've gotten rid of over the years that I kick myself for now, especially as they've gotten better and better. Yeah, she had the decimal, so 0.4mm. That'd be like that. Yeah, 6mm, beautiful rifle. Great hunting rifle. You'll take anything you want with that 6mm. It cracks me up. You can't legally own the 40mm, but you can buy what is it, the 37mm you can buy and get rounds for that. Yeah, ammo. I can find 6mm Remington ammo out here. There's quite a bit of it, actually. Just about every store in town carries 6mm. But yeah, I always custom reload my stuff anyway. I just find I get better accuracy out of it. But it's still fairly popular out here, the 6mm. A lot of it's because it's such a flat shooting round. I mean, you can reach out with it quite a ways. Can't go wrong. I'm starting to get some of the security pins and get some of that stuff figured out. Called many states and can't find any. Yeah, man, every time I go into the store and I'm looking around, I'm looking for, my 6.5 Creedmoor stuff just to see what they've got. And I always see 6mm Remington. Generally, it's the Remington, like Remington core locks, hunting rounds, things like that. I've seen some in some Federal as well around here. Oh, yeah. Brass, Hornady brass. I think I saw some of that just the other day when I was in the shop hanging there. Yeah, I know. 37, you can get some of the, the flares and the little play rounds. You can't have the fun stuff like 40 has, but never heard of 6mm Remington, huh? Yeah, it's another one of those that it came out around the same time as the 243. It actually outperforms the 243, but they did a better job on the marketing, and they had a better twist rate in the 243, and got it knocked out and done. So the 243 kind of took off over the top of the 6mm. But 6mm, the Remington is a wicked little bullet. And now you've got much, much better bullet placement, but a lot of the older 6mm rifles don't have a twist to be able to support it. I think the highest I could go was, I tried 100 grain in my 6mm and it worked, but it wasn't great. 95 grain was about the heaviest bullet that I could really stabilize properly and get it to work well. Yeah, like I said, what I would probably compare it to is it's almost like taking a 308 cartridge sushi and necking it down to a 6mm bullet is probably about the best comparison. I think it originally came off of like a 257 Roberts, I think was the parent case for the 6mm. I think. I could be wrong, though. It's been a long time since I had looked at that one. Yeah, 257 Roberts, neck down to a 6mm bullet, which originally came from the 7x57 Mauser. It was introduced in 1955 by Remington as the 244 Remington. Later it was changed to the 6mm Remington. It's a wonderful cartridge. If you can find the brass and the stuff, and especially with the bullet selection now, and get a little better twisted barrel, oh man, it's a good round. Very, very good, very fun. Especially in that, if you ever have a chance, look up that Remington Model 600s that they had. They were incredible. Short barreled little things. Great gun to carry hunting because they were small, light, and very, very, very good shooting. They were amazing. Cool stuff. I don't remember if I still have this working. Maybe this is what I should use for my escapisms. Yeah, before it was the 6mm. So back when it was the 244 Remington. Yeah, they were wonderful. I was always a big fan. The one I had when I bought it at a pawn shop here in Gillette, and somebody had cut the stock off, shortened the stock up for a kid, and I used it that way for a long time, but it was tough because it was just too short. And then finally, I found a company that had a replacement mahogany stock for it, so I restocked it to get it up to the right size, back to a full length rifle. But mine had the vented rib down the barrel on it, and it's just a really, really pretty gun. Pretty gun. So this is the one. I don't know if this would work for that or not, but that behind the back challenge that he's got out there, I want to try and see if I can shoot that video. You got to pick a lock behind your back, and then pick your way out of the handcuffs. No shimming. You got to pick it. And I've been playing with that. Behind the back is tough, man. Oh, God. I am so terrible trying to do that with that right hand. Kicks like a champ. I remember I was off at a range shooting one day, and that little short barrel, that sucker's loud. And I had another guy out there shooting with me, and I don't know, he was shooting a 30-06 or something. You get done, and he's standing behind me, and he had taken his earmuffs off, and I was like, "Yeah, you might want to put those back on." He goes, "Well, it can't be that loud." And I touched off the first round with that short barrel. And he's like, "Holy crap, what are you shooting?" It is loud, but great rifle. 1892 Winchester. Yeah, I've got a Marlin 1894 lever gun. I love that thing. It's so much fun. And good morning, Mr. Stu. How are you today? Yeah, I might even still have some old 6mm brass and even some ammo around here somewhere. I'd be pretty surprised if I don't tucked away someplace. So I used to have quite a bit of it. But yeah, very, very fun round. Well, like I said, it's still available out here. I don't know where you're located at, Delbert, but I could always look at one of the stores here and grab a bag of brass and send your way if you wanted at some point. Hook me up on Discord and we can check it out. But because I know every time I go to the store, I see 6mm Remington brass on the shelf. Because yes, I know some places it's hard to find. It's weird how different areas of the country, certain ammunition is hard to find. Yeah. It is a little longer cartridge. Like I said, 257 Roberts. It's very similar lengthwise to like a 308. It's probably the closest that most people would know of that I would say. Yeah, I love this pin and mat. It's wonderful. It's been great to work on. Yeah, being out here, it's a lot of long range shooting, longer distances. So a lot of calibers like that have really hung on. Yeah, see the 243 that Winchester had, that was the neck down 308 to a 6 millimeter. That's where the 243 came in. So, and it was again 1955 when both cartridges came out. But it was the twist rate is really what got it. Um, Winchester did a different twist rate, which allowed it to stabilize heavier bullets. And so that's just kind of what it made it win out. They used a 1 in 10, where the 6 millimeter was done in a 1 in 12. So yeah, 80 to 90 grain bullets were about optimal in the 6mm. You couldn't do anything heavier than that. And when it came to the hunting rounds, that's just kind of where it went out. They were kind of trying to go after a varmint cartridge more than anything, I think, with it. It's kind of the same. Like I said, I have that 218B, and that came out about the same time as the 22 Hornet. And that's where Winchester dropped the ball on that one. Winchester did the 218B, and they chambered it only in a lever action. And at that point, everybody was kind of going to bolts. And the 22 Hornet was chambered in a bolt, and it just, that one out, and away it went. Not allowed to carry 2 sticks on a chain in most states, huh? Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what you have for gun stores out there, Delbert, but we have a lot of Sportsman's Warehouse out here. I'm just going to go take a look, but I was just going to search their website. Oh, hey, that is cool as crap. They have a LWRC AR styled rifle in 6mm Remington. Dude, that would be wicked, wouldn't it? Holy Toledo. I never knew anybody was doing anything like that. That's cool. Yep. Old school. Two sticks on a rope. Yeah, just don't do the chain, do a rope. You're good to go. And now I see Hornady has the ELDVs, BTs in 6mm Remington as well. Ah, that's sweet. 17 Mach 2 is good. Yeah, 17 Mach 2 is sweet too. They've got so many cool rounds anymore. It's really wild. Let's see. Let's look at ammo. I'm filtering this down to see what's out there. Yeah, you can know my location. If you've never looked at Sportsman's Warehouse, they usually carry a lot of wild stuff and different things that you may not find other places. Another one that I think would be fun to try out is that 6mm arc. I wouldn't mind playing with that again too. Anyway, you know, it's cool stuff. It's cool old gear, cool old junk. Yeah. Good old 17 Mach 2. I've never actually handled or shot a 17 mock, but I've heard good things about them. Heard very good things. Don't know much about them. Because then what do you got? There's some other 17 calibers out there now too that are supposed to be pretty good. 17 HMR, not another one. That's supposed to be another pretty cool one. I don't know how we delved off into the gun world, but I love my firearms and talking firearms. So it's too bad that YouTube is such a screw tube when it comes to that kind of thing. I would love to show, but I was reading their rules on that a little bit. And it's pretty comical. You can't even show one on a live without getting blocked or banned by them, which is pretty crazy to me. But I don't know. Yeah, it's like a 22 on crack. Yeah, right. Another one that's really not overrated, underrated is just the old 22 Magnum. Even they've got some pretty cool rounds for that thing anymore too. But yeah, I need to get another pair of cuffs. All I have are these Viper Techs, and they're pretty good. I've heard that they won't hold up and last very well. The one thing I noticed, because I was doing that Shackleman P2 challenge the other day, is shimming this thing. That's tight, dude. It took me a while to find something I could get in there to get down in and shim it. Some of the other stuff, the tolerances are pretty tight. But hey, I got it. It is out there. Yeah. Great for flat shooting. Yeah. I like flat shooting stuff. I've got my 6mm or 6.5 Creedmoor rather, Ruger American that I've been dressing up and getting that ready. My plan with that thing, as I'm working on a reload, I want to get to a mile with it. Been using the dang Chinese cuffs. Well, I don't know. Where are these Viper Techs out of? I don't remember where they were. I want to get a set of Peerless again. I need to break down and just buy a set of those from Southern Specialties. I might order a set of those next when I get ready to order some of my other picks from them. Yeah, little 380. I like some of the 380s. There's some fun little 380s out there too. Got a new little pink set coming. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, they're fun. I've been having a good time with them. Like I said, I'm going to try. I think I'm going to see if the wife will be my cameraman. And I'm going to try Nick Pick's little challenge of picking a lock behind your back and then picking your way out of the cuffs. I've been practicing that a little bit, doing a little playing. I bent the crap out of a couple of tools because that's tougher than it looks like it should be. Oh, absolutely. Cuffs aren't made to be a high security thing, right? They're just made to retain somebody. But yeah, these Vipertechs they're actually better quality than I expected for what I paid for them. Tolerances are pretty decent. I know was it Cox was saying that they're not very good, and eventually what'll happen is something happens inside and they'll bind up and lock up. I go out prairie dog shooting here every once in a while, and I'll actually use 22 long rifle and try and do 100 yards or a little better with a 22. That's a lot of fun. Try and walk them in. Then I'll break out some of the others. I've got a custom AR that the wife bought for me a long time ago now, but I've done that one. I've gone out to about 700 on prairie dogs with it. I've done on targets out to about 900 with it, which that's really stretching that poor little 223. But yeah, that is the only pair I have are these. I need to get some others. I want to get some, like I said, some Peerless, maybe a set of Smiths, a set of Chicago's. I don't know. You got to have fun. Got to play with them. Get a chain to lock it, huh? Yeah. They've got some really cool rounds now for the 22. And I've met some guys out here that are using some custom rounds out of some custom built 22 long rifles, and good Lord, they're shooting steel at 500-600 yards now with 22 long rifle. It is kind of wild to watch. So see, we've got 11 people in there. I'll throw this out there one more time. I'll be doing a review video on this multi-pick set tomorrow. But this is for my 250 subscriber giveaway. I've got a ways to go to get there. I have some other stuff coming in I'll be going through. I'll probably do a 200 giveaway and then a 250 giveaway. So if you aren't subscribed, please do. If you are subscribed, share it out there amongst some other teams. Help it get there. Chicago 1000 and Peerless 750 coming, both in orange. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'd like to get a set from Southern Specialties. They do the Peerless, I think, and get some engraving on there. Maybe throw the Shackleman Club on one side and Greyhound on the other side or something. Or down here on the bottom part, throw my logo in there. He's got some new engraving methods that he's figured out to do with the laser that look absolutely dope. I'm hoping he's going to try that out with my logo and see how it works. I think that'd be pretty freaking sweet. Yeah, that'll be a very nice giveaway. I bought and I'm selling the Sandman beginner set on my shop from Multipick. And when I was working on that order, I asked about if they'd be interested in doing something to help out with a giveaway. And this is what he sent me, is this set. I don't remember which set this is. I have to look it back up on their site. But it's one of their elite something. I don't know. It's got 27 tools in there total. Tons of turning tools. That's really cool. I'm really impressed with the turners. They're really sweet. Sets of rakes, picks, and they're in 0.6 and 0.4 millimeter down the line. So that will be an awesome set for somebody. Giving away tools that I don't even have a set of. Man, I'm telling you. But I need to do a review on those first. So I've been playing with those a little bit, getting a handle of what they are and what they work in, what they don't. And I'll probably try and do that review video tomorrow and get that uploaded. Yeah, Southern Specialties, man. I absolutely love those guys over there, and I love their products. These cases are absolutely stupid. Show the profiles. Yeah, let's get in here. Let's open this up, lay it out, and then I will zoom it down in here a little bit for you. And let's go through it. So you've got a gentle reach, half diamonds. You've got a medium round hook, short flat, and kind of a deep hook. Goes to a real fine point on those. And then you've got a quad and quint rakes, and everything is in 0.6 and 0.4s. And then you've got, there's a 0.8, a 1 mil, and a 1.3 on each of the turners. So there's these are a bottom of keyway, or you've got a top of keyway, and they're all single-ended. And then you've got some short top of keyways, longs, and then it has this hybrid tapered tension tool, which I thought was wild. I'd never seen one like this before, but it's really pretty cool. So you get your lock out, and it drops in, and I mean, it locks up pretty solid. That one you can see it doesn't really go in there all that far. And you move up to an 1100 that's a little more open keyway, and it drops in a lot further, but still, man, really locks in there nice and solid. Pretty cool. This isn't the Sandman set. This is not the Sandman set. Let's see. It's a 27 piece. Give me just 1 second here, and I will tell you what it is. Let's pull up their website, and I will look real quick. It's a 27 piece elite set. Multi-pick elite. This one is the Elite Medium lockpick set, 0.4 and 0.6 millimeter. So yeah, the case is absolutely amazing, and then the picks, very, very nice picks. So like I said, I'll do up a full review on that set. Planning on doing that tomorrow. And then that is for my 250 subscriber giveaway, amongst a few other things. And like I said, I think I'll have enough stuff. I'll probably do a 200 and then a 250. And that'll be the grand prize probably out there on that one. So yeah, pretty doggone nice. Yeah, Christina Palmer edition, exactly. Yep. It's an expensive little set. I was looking around the U.S. shops that do carry that set. It's about $175 for that set of picks. So very, very, very cool that they sent me something like that. So yeah, very, very cool. And the case, I can't hardly get over the case. I had heard good things about them, but you can get one of these and actually feel it. Dude, that's just amazing. The Elite 37, and you like that one. Yeah, they're nice. Very, very expensive tools, dude. Very expensive. But they are very, very nicely made. So, yeah. Well, guys, I think I may have to call it a day. Go get some other things accomplished around here. Much as I really don't want to. But, got crap that needs to get done in this house. But yeah, so that's what I've got. That's what I've got rolling. That's what I'll be trying to hopefully give away. I want to get some new people into the chat so we can do some drawings and give away some entry pick sets to some people and see what we can do. So yeah, help me get it there. I think, where am I at? I think I'm sitting about 190, I heard this morning. Yep, 190 subscribers. So my one shipment should be showing up today, and I'll be going through it. Thank you much, everybody, for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Consider hopping on and joining. I always love getting other people in here, introduce people, and get to know everybody. So, peace out, everyone. Have a marvelous rest of your weekend. Later.